So Hosper starts out with an interesting hypothetical involving a student, something completely made up, but certainly something that could happen. A student gets a C in a class and needs an A or a B in order to get into medical school. So he goes to Hospers. This is all imaginary, and asks him to think about changing the grade. Hospers realizes that the student did C work, and the grade, the work itself, doesn't deserve a higher grade. But the student finally says, right here, I know it's unethical to change a grade when the student does deserve a higher one, but can't you please make an exception to the rule just this once? And before I can reply, he sharpens his plea. I appeal to you as a utilitarian. Your goal is the greatest happiness of everyone concerned, isn't it? If you give me only the grade I deserve, who will be happier? Not I, that's sure. Perhaps you will for a little while, but you have hundreds of students, and you'll soon forget about it. And I will be ever so much happier for being admitted to a school that will train me for the profession I have always desired. And let's just also stipulate that the students getting a C in the class is no reflection on their ability to do well in medical school and also become a good doctor. So it's an interesting hypothetical. And the question is, if you are a utilitarian, and as he says, ex hypothesi, I guess it's Latin here, this is on the basis of the hypothesis that if you change the grade, on the basis of, we're just hypothesizing that if Hospers would change the grade, everyone would be happier. No one would be less well off. If you're a utilitarian, how can you not change the grade and remain a utilitarian, right? Have you become a Kantian if you refuse to change the grade? So this is really an interesting question, right? And it leads to the kind of discussion that he engages in this article. But it's interesting. I mean, and the question is, if you do believe yourself to be a utilitarian, how do you deal with situations like this? If you're a utilitarian, do you have to change the grade? Is there some way to remain a utilitarian and not do, in this particular situation, what would produce the greatest happiness? That's the question.